What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called Shardbreakers. This is a game that in a lot of ways shares a lot of DNA with a title that we played previously called To Kill a God. Both of these games are unreleased, but they're both kind of working in the same direction. In Shardbreakers, it's kind of a twin-stick action RPG a la roguelike, or I guess not a la roguelike, infused with roguelike, where you're trying to chain together Path of Exile style gems that drop randomly in the dungeon to create the most OP character you possibly can, because every single level that you pass through, the game gets harder, and so it is constantly counting on you to also become way more OP than you were on the previous level. I think that's kind of compelling gameplay, so we're going to dive in today. We're going to play the game for about 30 minutes, and we're going to see if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you would rather not play for yourself. That is also perfectly fine. You can find a link to the game down below in the description, and then on top of that, you can also take a look down there just in case you wanted to find a number of extra saucy Nerd Castle links that are positively dripping right now with savory goodness. You can shove them in your mouth, you can rub your body all over them, you can use them to flavor your burrito, but they are down there and waiting for you. Let's dive straight on in. So the first thing we gotta do when we arrive inside of the hub for Shardbreakers is we gotta pick our character. I've got two of the characters unlocked, but I haven't unlocked the third character yet. This game's kind of a slow burner as far as roguelikes go, where you're gonna have to put in like 3 or 4 runs first before things start to unlock. When I first started playing, I was like, dude, where's all the stuff inside the hub? And none of it is really tooltips, so like you can tell that there were things that were gonna be interactable, but nothing popped up or told you what you needed to do to unlock them once you got in there. My advice is just play the game, and as you kill bosses and stuff, random nodes and things like that will get unlocked. Here inside the hub, there's a number of important things we can do. We can swap characters. We've got like a melee knight, and we've got a crossbowman that's got himself like the LMG of crossbows. He can just kind of mag dump it if he wants to. We've also got this little terminal over here. This is going to allow us to upgrade our character on a skill sheet. These are just passive increases to how powerful your character is, how fast your movement speed is, how high your crit is, how high your HP is. Nothing too wild and crazy that I've seen inside of here, but it does look like the finalizing terminating node down here actually does have something that changes around the way that you're going to be playing the game. I don't know if you're going to be able to like collect all 4 of them, or if you're going to have to pick which of these 4 is active when you go in. Haven't gotten that far yet. I've been playing for like an hour and a half. On top of that, there's a mission thing over here. I can't use it yet. I'm guessing it gives us like rewards and metagame currency based on what we do throughout our runs. We've got targeting dummies that allow us to try out all of our abilities. There they are. That's all the abilities we have right now. A super omega Kamehameha charge shot, and also just machine gun blasts. And then this over here is the Forge. Now, down here inside the Forge, you're going to be able to play around with all the different runes and stuff that you've unlocked. You don't get to take any of these shards. It'll say right here, if I click on these, that I can equip them, and it'll put it in my backpack. This is just for testing purposes and theory crafting. So were I to clack out all of my abilities inside their skill slots, which you can see right here, I would not take that into the run with me, but you can do interesting stuff like, for example, if I grab Mantle, let's say, and then I also grab, what do I have in here? I need like another ability. So in the Forge, let's say that I took Echo, and let's say that I took Energy Orb, right? If I take, go away, menu, go away, I don't want you right now. Let's say that I put Echo in right there, and you can see that it's linked, and so Echo's description tells us that when the parent skill hits an enemy, the child skill gets casted, and so I put that right there. And as you can see, I now get energy orbs whenever I hit the enemy. And this is really where like the build and theory crafting comes through for the game. And I'm glad that they give you kind of a workshop where you can fool around with all the stuff that you've unlocked and seen in runs to come up with some absolutely insanely overpowered attacks. For right now though, let's get a run underway. I am going to warn you straight off the rip here, this game is challenging. This is a game where you can die inside the first 1 or 2 rooms if you're not paying attention. Healing, kind of rare in this game until you get certain things unlocked, and then on top of that, a lot of the enemies love to just spam projectiles at you. They love to spawn on top of you, and so you're going to be taking some attrition inside of each room, which is really either, for most players, going to ratchet up the tension, or it's going to make them frustrated. We've got our first thing right here, a skill shard for an ability called Glaive. Throw a bouncing glaive with a high chance of triggering Rupture. Okay, yeah, I'd like to swap that in for my super shot right there, and we'll just kind of see how this does. Yeah, that looks okay. And then we also got, oh, we got an Echo Shard. Hell yeah. Okay, so here's where this gets interesting. What's the cooldown on that right there? 6 seconds? That's a pretty long cooldown, but I am going to link these together here because what this means is with Echo, when I hit the enemy with a paired Echo Shard, it will then cast Glaive because Glaive is linked to it. You see that little, like, I don't know, dude. It looks like there's like some glue or some jelly running in between the two of them. That's good. Yeah, that'll give us at least a little bit more DPS. Then we've got to decide what room we want to go into next. We can have a room that's full of shards, or we can have a room, those are going to be the skill gems and stuff, or we can go into a room that has metagame currency. I think this early on, we should probably focus on getting as many runes or many gems and runes as we possibly can, because building up and getting stronger in this game is going to be massively important, because the difficulty of the title does go up pretty aggressively in between each room. Like, oh, my dash wasn't back up yet. Okay. At the beginning of the game, we have 1 dash, and it's on a pretty sizable cooldown. I think it's like 4 or 5 seconds. We're going to want to get that upgraded to like 2 dashes or 3 dashes about as soon as possible. What shards did we get? Oh, we got plus 25 maximum health. Okay, apparently my memorization of the iconography is absolutely terrible, but 25 maximum health is good. That'll help us build towards something anyways. Let's see how many of these dudes we can take out. We also have an ultimate ability. You can see that on our R key down inside of our HUD. That's going to make us go into turbo mode, basically. It's going to increase our attack speed by a ridiculous amount. It's also going to make us run a lot faster than we previously did, thus making it easier for us to dodge lots and lots of projectiles that are out on the field. Unfortunately, we got lots of projectile spamming enemies right now, and they all got to... I stepped on a trap. They all got to go. And so down they go. Let's grab that, and we get to pick a shard. I think I'll take Ricochet. Ricochet is good. I think it makes our main shot chain in between enemies, and that'll fill out our last slot. So now we can start focusing on other abilities. As far as skill variety goes in this game, there is quite a bit of it. There's everything from summons to heals to AoEs to novas that freeze enemies in place. Chances are, if you've seen an ability inside an RPG or an MMO, it's kind of in here. Let's just start with you, shall we? I did not want to get hit by that right there, if I could manage it. We'll start firing in that direction, getting a little chaining off. Unfortunately, with their spacing, we're not getting a lot of value out of our chaining right now, but in tighter, more confined rooms, I think it'll go okay. Oh, he's got a death beam? I didn't even know that he was going to do that. All right. I don't know if I stepped on a bomb. Oh, no, he's throwing them at me. Okay. We're going to have to, like, get through here and stop the little grenade detonator guy from doing his thing. At least until I have more dodges to kind of, like, escape from the enemy. Big snipey hits right there. Okay, he's now down. The little gold things that you see on the ground, those are XP. Leveling up in this game is modeled entirely after Risk of Rain. So leveling up doesn't really do anything in this game other than increase your HP and increase the baseline amount of damage that most of your abilities deal. It's not going to be something where you get to play around with skills and things of that nature. I think I'm going to go with skill shards down. I think that's skill shards, dude. I swear to God, I've been picking that one, thinking that I was going to get skill shards this whole time. There we go. Light all those dudes up with the ranged attacks. You absolutely 100% want to target guys with ranged attacks in this game before everything else. If you can take them out, it's going to make your life a lot easier. As you can see, my health is getting absolutely devastated right now. As I said, this is not a game where you start out with the utility to really escape from a lot of the things the enemies are going to be doing. But once we have 2 or 3 dodges, it'll get better. But there's no telling when that's going to be because the rooms come up randomly. We got air balls. Okay, all right. So what does air balls do? Oh, it just fires out like a fan? It's on kind of a longer cooldown. Well, the cooldown is shorter than with Glaive. Maybe we'll try that in there instead and just sort of see how that goes. It does have a certain attractive nature to it. I guess my question here is, I don't know if the air balls are also going to ricochet. I doubt it because they're not linked, but that would be super cool. Like, I could see that being rad as hell. We can get money or we can get a treasure chest. Treasure chests have all kinds of crap inside of them, so I'm going to try the treasure chest first. Is there anything I have to fight in here, or is it just like a free treasure chest with no consequences? You can also fuse your gems together if you have certain ones. You'll populate in here recipes as you discover things and go through the game. You'll find out what things can be fused together into future abilities that are even better than just the baseline abilities without anything linked to them, but we don't have the ability to fuse anything right now. We got like 30 bucks from there. We got a skill upgrade. Cool. So with my skill upgrade, can I upgrade Ricochet? It doesn't look like I can, but I can upgrade air balls. It really sort of depends if I want to upgrade Glaive and keep that on there or whether I want to keep air balls. Let's just go for air balls for right now. Keep things nice and air-rated on out. When is my first shop? That's what I'm curious about. If I take this path right here, it looks like we have a shop. I would like to get a shop, I think. Although there is another shop up top and we can get gold before we go there. We may die horribly before we arrive, but going into a shop in this game is a big opportunity to really develop out your skill chains and make them oh, it does inherit like the bounce. Okay. I don't know if the bounce is just built into the airball ability or how that works, but there we go. We got a nice tight grouping over here. Hitboxes in this game, they do need work. I frequently feel like I'm getting hit by things that were nowhere near me. If I can get them into a straight line, I could have done. Maybe I should have upgraded Glaive, dude. I like that. So with this, it's kind of random what we hit behind the enemy that we're shooting at. But with Glaive, it actually targets somebody, which I feel a little bit more positively about. Can somebody drop a health potion? I need a health potion or a healing spell, like really, really badly. I don't recall what the room with the torch does. I'm going back to Glaive, dude. I think Glaive was better. Oh, it's an elite. Gotcha. Okay, well, it's going to depend what the elite decides he wants to do inside of here, but... Oh, he threw that one right in front of me. Another thing in this game, the enemies are really, really good at leading you with all forms of projectile attacks. So keep an eye on that as well. I've found that, frankly, I don't even really look at my character anymore. When I'm running around the map, I only look at the enemies that are still on the grid, just because it makes it easier to track all the ridiculous quantities of projectiles that are getting slung at me at any given moment. I need you guys to die like now. Oh, health potion, health potion, health potion, give it to me. I need 60 HP like super badly, dude. Luckily, so health potions in this game are incredibly rare, but when they do end up dropping, they actually refill a fat chunk of your HP. It just depends if you're lucky enough to get one. Elite chest, what you got for me? So we've got Gemini. So Gemini looks like it's a better version of what we already have. It looks like it makes the cooldown better for whatever's linked on in there. Parent skill deals an additional 5% for each stack of status effect on the target that does not match its element. Okay, let's play around with this Gemini idea real fast. So it looks like parent skill cooldown modifier goes up by like 50%, but the child skill for the Glaive should match the cooldown of that right there, which I think means that it links up the cooldown from the parent with the child, so this should be cast like every single time we shoot something, but it's hard to say. I don't think it's working the way that I thought it was gonna work, so I'm gonna put Echo back on over here. Oh, Echo reduces, okay, so Echo reduces that thing's cooldown by 25%. Gotcha, so if we've got Piercing Bolt, and then let's say that we go with Gemini over here, we can make it so Piercing Bolt casts air balls every time it goes out. Technically, every time it hits an enemy, which means it should create a fan-like array of bullets going outwards from the first target hit and then continuing as it penetrates on through. And I think that theory crafting and being like, does this work the way that I think it works, is actually one of the main appeals of this game. I can get myself a skill upgrade on this side, so let's do that real fast. Yeah, it like kind of worked. I think in order to get like maximum damage out of that thing, we are going to have to line up multi-shots, sort of like that right there. But every little bit of extra damage helps. Like all we were getting was the piercing damage before. Now we're also getting the airball damage as it goes through. And so I think it's going to be okay. Get these guys right here. All right. Cool. I think we're looking all right. Oh, yeah, those are Heat Seeker bullets. I always forget about the Heat Seeker bullets that those little guys throw. Okay, give me my skill upgrade. We want Glaive to get upgraded to level 2, so now it does 220% damage. Very, very nice. And then we've got our first shop. We got to rub our hands together and get excited. Hopefully there's something good inside of here because these places can really flesh out a build. So what do we have? We've got Ice Nova. It's on a 5-second cooldown, and it's explosion centered on you. You have Frost Nova from World of Warcraft, and then it looks like, oh, technically, for every enemy hit, it reduces the cooldown by 0.5 seconds. That could actually just be continuous Ice Novas going out if you had it paired with the right rapid-fire ability. We've also got Lightning Spear. Cast a Lightning Spear that strikes the first target. Then lightning will strike the hit target, dealing even more damage in an AoE. That may actually not be a bad pair buddy for our big nuclear attack. We've also got Parting. What does Parting do? So it looks like Parting is kind of like a iterative trigger where the parent skill gets a longer cooldown modifier, but the child skill casts, and it looks like it boosts up an AoE. And so we would want to use that, for example, linked to something like, I don't know, like we cast Lightning Spear, and then after Lightning Spear finishes casting, it's linked to this guy, which is then linked to this guy, which means it Ice Novas the ground around us whenever we cast it. So Ice Nova stops being just a DPS ability, and it becomes a crowd control ability on top of that, which I think is sort of compelling. For right now, though, I think I'm probably just going to pick up Lightning Spear. I'm going to pick up a health potion for sure. I'm going to pick up, this is an artifact. They're all over the game. We just haven't gotten that many this run. This game is super random with what boons and benefits it gives you. I've had runs where I have hardly any skills and I have loads and loads and loads of artifacts. I've had it the other way. This makes our AoEs bigger. We don't really have that many AoEs, I don't think, but I'll give it a try. We'll throw it in there. But now I can't afford the skill upgrade, unfortunately. Let me get my health potion real fast. And then if I throw these things on the ground, can I just break them? It looks like you only have an opportunity to break these things when they first drop, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it a little bit further. But here comes our first boss. This guy's kind of a terror because we only have one dodge, which means there's going to be guaranteed hits that this guy's going to land on us. But sort of is what it is, I suppose. I'm going to focus on killing off his little buddies first, just because it'll make navigating a little bit easier. Okay. Got him with the lightning bolt. Oh, lightning bolt does good damage. I like that. Okay. They're all up in the corner right now, which means that it's clobbering time. I'm going to see if I can get him with that right there. Unfortunately, little dude grabbed onto my cast and ate my lightning bolt. There we go. That's what I wanted to happen. There is a health potion on the field, so that is an option if we end up getting tuned up. There's 2 health potions on the field. You know, I said health potions were rare because I did like 5 runs before this. I almost never saw health potions during that run. And now on this run, I swear to God, dude, it's the curse of recording live. Whenever I proclaim something to be true, the game is going to go out of its way in order to prove me false. Let's go ahead and stay on him, I guess. I think it pierces, too, that lightning blast. If it pierces, that actually makes it a lot better. You do get a fat lag spike whenever you kill a boss. I don't know what it comes from. It's not the recording. It was doing it while I was playing earlier, too. What are you? 25 health. We got metagame currency. We've got the Scribal Slate. We now have knowledge of choir. And then what are you? A skill slot shard. Hell yeah. So as you can see, it increased the amount of skill slots that we have on all of our abilities, which is very, very helpful. That's a nice thing to have. On to the next level, I suppose. We made it through the first map without any heals, so that's always going to be good. I don't know how long we're going to last on this one. These tentacle guys are an absolute nightmare. So like these little Marlboro plants over here, they drop tentacles all over the place, and the tentacles can submerge, and they come up and they do an AoE that's just like a giant pain in the ass to deal with. It is zero funsies. We got some more metagame currency right there. I don't know what they are. Nothing is tooltipped when you mouse over it. I don't know if they're supposed to be like spines or what they're like. I'm talking about actual vertebral columns, bro, that we ripped out of somebody's back like the Predator and just hit them with like the... I would like another skill upgrade here, I think, instead of the the plus 25 HP, because I need my glaive to be hitting harder. Either that or I would like for my lightning blast to be hitting harder. Come on, let's do some mayhem. He already died. Ugh. Don't like that. You die, please. Stop smoking out the entire battlefield with AoEs. There we go. Now we're making moves. Is that the last bad guy right there? Cool. Anything inside the pots? Sometimes the pots drop money. It's only like $5 or $6, but it can really add up over the course of a run. With a skill upgrade, glaive, you're going up to level 3. There we go. Just keep that thing chugging. I want to verify what this is right here. Like, I thought it was like, not a skill upgrade, but I thought it was like skill shards or something. And as it turns out, my own knowledge of what's going on here appears to be lacking. Get him with the lightning bolts. Oh, I got trapped by ninjas. Oh no, dude. I got ninjaficated. That's a verb that I've been workshopping that I think we should enter on in to just like the American lexicon, you know, ninjaficating. It means you done got by a ninja. I need whatever. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Yep. Please die. I only really like you when you're dying. Oh my god, now I'm dying. I don't like me most of the time, but I like me the least when I'm dying. That is the non-optimal Splattercat state that I would hope to avoid here. Yeah, there's some kind of clipping plane right there. That's what caught me up. I was wondering why I couldn't move right here. See, you get stuck on that corner right there. What's making me get stuck? I don't know, but that needs to be cleaned up. Little things like that need to not exist. I'm guessing it's some kind of problem with just the map generation. A shard. Okay, so it's a shard selection. I'm going to re-roll this one and just kind of see what I get. We've got Shrouding. After casting this spell, you become invisible for 1.5 seconds until you attack or cast a skill. Increase an additional 1 per level. Okay, we've also got 3-tap, which is a condition shard. Cast the paired skill. When parent skill damage the same target 3 times, targeting the same target. Okay, or we could just get Echo. I mean, cast the paired skill when the parent skill hits. It's simple and keeps it like low to the ground. I'll probably put the Echo on Lightning Spear, maybe? You know, a thought crosses my mind with my super shot. Can I put a ricochet on my super shot so that it deals like 1,000 damage to 3 people every time I fire it, regardless of penetration? And do all the ricocheting shots also penetrate? It says it requires damaging. And this does have the damaging tag on it. I have a plan. So with my lightning bolt, what if I just loaded all my abilities into lightning bolt? So if I'm reading this correctly, when I cast lightning bolt and it hits an enemy, it should cast air balls. And then when I cast it, oh no, the child requirement can't be channeled. Damn it. Oh, I had a plan and everything and it was looking so cool. Okay, I guess I'll just hobble my way into the next room and feel sad about myself. We do have a chest, though, that we're able to play around with in the next room. I mean, the air balls are still nice. Get him. Little bit of damage on that room. Oh, this is a prime opportunity. Yup, for the penetration right there. I'm sort of curious what would happen if on hit, I put lightning bolt on it too, dude. Like a lightning bolt with a tri-splitter, but you don't really get that many mods for your main auto attack. I do feel like it's easier to get off. Like channeling's kind of hard to pull off. Oh, I got gassed out, bro. He hit me with the poo-poo doo-doos. I may have to go Super Saiyan here just to dig myself out of this situation. There we go. Oh, there's so many of you. This is deeply upsetting. Nope, don't want to get eaten by giant woods dogs. Bye-bye, Gilly Man. Take a nice little rest. We've got Rain of Thorns. It is a damaging area of effect attack with a 10-second cooldown, so it's a rain of arrows. I can link it to my lightning spell. It's got a longer cooldown than the spell parent itself, so it may be better to have it like that, because this right here will lower the child cooldown modifier by 75%. This will lower the child cooldown by a lot, meaning that it should happen every single time I cast Lightning Bolt. And since Lightning Bolt penetrates, I don't know if it uses the cooldown for just the first impact or all the impacts and then goes on cooldown from the one shot. I don't know. I'm not sure. We can get a treasure chest or we can get a skill upgrade. I'm going to go for the treasure chest because I just love opening up cubes that are full of stuff. There are, by the way, treasure goblins in this game. Those are treasure goblins right there, and we managed to get both of them, which was actually very financially positive. So we've got a relic right here. It gives us a 6% chance to dodge any hit. We can either get 15 movement speed or we can get velocity. I don't know what velocity does. I kind of like the idea of movement speed, so I'm going to take that. Your character does have like a weird inertia to him. You can see him sliding right there. I'm wondering if like velocity affects that or something. I don't know. We've also got Clockwork Soldier, which is a summon, which is pretty nice. I don't hate that. If I can find another ability to link on in and we could just get that to autocast, we could fill the screen up with minions. Huh. Open the chest. What do we got? So we've got lethality. The parent skill gets 60% more critical damage and then nothing else. That's all we got out of there. We did get some coins out of there. I mean, I'll just put it on my soldier in the off chance that he crits. That sounds okay to me. Over here, we can get another active shard, or we can get a skill upgrade. I'm going to take the skill upgrade. Hell yeah, dude. That's exactly what I was hoping was going to happen. That's that good stuff right there. Cool, man. Yup. Just zap up everybody that you possibly can. I do need to get this plant out of the back corner, though. Otherwise, he's going to spawn like a ton of things that are just going to hurt the hell out of me if I don't get it taken care of. All right, got you taken care of. Oh my god, the damage numbers are blotting out the sun. You love to see it. Stay out of the poison fart gas. Looks like my summons survived long enough just to grab some aggro off me, which I appreciate. Oh, strong chance we were going to get hit right there. Yup, I need all you guys to die. Give me another soldier. Perfect, dude. I love it when the mathematics all line up. So we're going to upgrade you by 1 so that we get more damage. There we go. That'll be good. I got scared by my own minion for a second. I think we probably need... I mean, we need a little bit more of everything because I need to tack out my summon now. I'm going to get a support link for him, I think, or try to fish for a support link, at least. Yeah, just zap him before he gets close and becomes a problem. They do like a little blink strike thing that's hard to keep track of while you're being chased around by a million other enemies. I think we honestly have a decent build going right now. Perfect. Oh, buddy, we got AoEs everywhere. Courtesy of this squad over on this side. I'm going to try to stay out of the root bashing real fast. I went silent for a second. That's how you know I'm applying myself. I'm trying extra hard. Like, you know that moment when you're playing like Rainbow Six or something and you get absolutely sauced by somebody you know that you're better than and you got to like sit up in your seat real quick? Literally just did that. That's why I went silent. I was like, all right, we gotta lock in, brother. We got to lock in hard. What you got for me? So parent skill, oh, it's just like the movement speed of, it's not the velocity of your character, it's the movement speed of your attack. Okay. Projectiles will automatically seek nearby enemies. I think I'm going to re-roll it just to see what we fish out. We've got might, so that'll increase power scaling by level. That'll be good. Dandelion makes it so the skill doesn't hit quite as hard, but its cooldown is reduced by 60%. And then if you stack these up on an ability, it can become spammable because you get 15% of your damage back for each one of these that you have slotted, and they probably fuse too, would be my guess. Let's just go with Might for right now. And I'm going to increase the power scaling of my minion for just a second, just so he can stand his ground a little bit hotter and spicier. And yeah, let's get on in here and get ourselves another artifact while I do my closing thoughts. So all in all, I actually think this game is pretty rad, but it does have a lot of clerical cleanup problems that I think need to be addressed before it hits the greater market in like a final release state. So the biggest annoyance by far for me personally is just how many of the procedural maps have invisible collision toe catchers, invisible walls on them that will block your character's movement. Other more minor things that annoyed me throughout my playtime were stuff like the dodge cooldown indicator isn't visible enough. In fact, I thought that there wasn't one on screen until I finally noticed it, and I was like, man, that's tiny. It needs to be way more obvious, and I honestly think that starting out with 2 dodges would be a little bit more fair in this game. A lot of times, once your build really spins up, it can be essentially impossible to see the enemy attack indicators, AoEs, and bullets. The traps I found to be too indistinct from ground coloration patterns, so I stepped on them a lot, just because the game is so active and busy, and then on top of that, they really blend into the ground. Some enemy AoEs and attack combos are just way too fast to be dodged with the starting single dodge charge when they're used in conjunction with each other, and it wouldn't be a problem except that those enemies can show up really early in your run where there's physically no chance that you have more than 1 dodge, so it's just like free damage for the enemy. There's no way to turn off the game's fuzzy pixel vision overlay vignette. I would like that to be there. And then I found that there can be a pretty big variance in this game between a good run and a bad run, just in terms of luck of the drops. I do think some of the shard descriptions could be cleaned up. I've spent quite a bit of time staring at them to figure out what they do, like rereading them over and over and over again. There is kind of a cadence to them, and once you learn how to read that cadence, it clears up a bit. But I do think that having that stuff denoted a little bit better in text form would help out. The game, however, I did all the bad stuff up front. There is good stuff coming, I promise. However, I think the game actually really impressed me with its custom ability building system. The same thing that makes Path of Exile works in this game. There are a wide variety of artifacts that have meaningful effects on your overall gameplay, a wide variety of shards that all do different things and can be kind of like comboed together in interesting ways in order to make yourself ridiculously overpowered. The game does have distinct characters that play very differently from one another. The metagame upgrades, they felt meaningful. The animations were decently tight. The art style is highly unified throughout all aspects of the game, and it does supply a really solid dopamine power fantasy feeling of being a god once you've officially got your build up and running. I especially liked the training area, where they let you fool around with every shard that you've come up with so far in your runs, so that you can play around with potential builds and things that you've denoted in your head as being busted, so that you can keep an eye out for them later and shoot for them once you've figured out those combos. It's also got the fusion system, which we didn't get to play around with here today, but in the case that you do get fusions, that's really cool how you can evolve your shards by combining them together into a new shard with an upgraded rarity level in order to make 2 skills go off at once without using 3 runes, which normally is what's required. This is a challenging game, so getting stomped around is normal. That might rub people the wrong way, some people the wrong way, but I like my games with a difficult, gnarly edge to them, so it kind of made it better for me. I really enjoyed this title, all things considered. There's things that need to be fixed here, but this game's only in playtest right now, so they've got time to fix it, and all of it is just stuff that needs to be fiddled with and cleaned up a little bit, which means that it's not foundational issues that are going to send this one off course as the game develops along. So this is Shardbreakers. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. I will see you all tomorrow with something hot and fresh off the indie skillet, and that's all I got for you, folks. Laters.